That's right, Lata. I think we have the banking stocks that are absolutely on fire as we speak. The Nifty as well, doing quite well. But I think we have Siddharth Purohit who joins us as well. Siddharth, what's your reading of the numbers? Slippages not as bad as we thought, not that 10,000, 11,000 crores odd. No real worsening in terms of asset quality as well. Your first take, do you believe that the worst is over?
In fact, the slippages number has really surprised on the positive side, and we are also working with something around 11,000 crores kind of slippages. And if you just look at all the parameters, be it your operating profit or maybe even your bottom line, in all parameters, I think it has been a satisfactory set of numbers for this quarter. And what actually we had been saying is that the PSU pack would have a lot more pain, but now what one has to understand is that SBI has been able to manage their asset quality and balance sheet in a much better way compared to rest of the pack. So when we talk about PSU now, we have to really segregate SBI and rest of all PSU. So SBI, I believe what the management had indicated clearly and confidently that only the 32,000 crores of loan they are under watch will be under trouble. And looking at the balance sheet size of the bank, even if the half of it goes into NPA, then it is really not a alarming thing. Absolutely. So I think now we are almost kind of little satisfied that good and maybe a lot of improvements are likely to happen for the SBI
point taken, Siddharth. I didn't mean to interrupt you. It is just that I wanted to savor that 8% gain that SBI is showing. I mean, it deserves every bit of it, and it's good to see that such a good bank has come out of its worst period, its most trying period. And I, for one, am very happy that this is happening when Mrs. Bhattacharya is announcing maybe her last quarter of numbers. But I mean, with such a performance under your belt, do you think any private sector company would let a CEO go like this? I mean, they wouldn't. But the government has its rules. We don't really know one way or the other for sure, but there are some strong signals. I'll leave it at that. We don't have guaranteed news, and one wouldn't want to embarrass such a good banker like Mrs. Bhattacharya. But this is 9% now. I think the salute given by the market is, I think, way more resounding and way more deserved.
It's just SBI just has a weight of 2.5% in the Nifty, which is why this big 9% move in SBI is not translating into very big, Nifty moves. The Nifty's climbed higher, but just by a couple of points.
Over a period of time, it's going to reflect on the PSU banks in general and eventually possibly weigh on the bank Nifty. I just had one quick question for Siddharth. Siddharth, it's trading at around, or was at least some time ago, trading at around 1 times FY18 price to book. Your sense in terms of how much of an incremental valuation upside could we see now after evidence of 2 quarters of timely recognition by the bank?
See, historically, if you see, it's really not trading at a high valuations, all because of the concerns that we as an investor community had on the stock. But now with more clarity coming in, I believe that, this 1.2 or 1.3 times is not really going to restrict the upside. And what I would like to say is that what the biggest concern for the stock or for the performance of the stock was the lack of clarity. And once that clarity was given in the Q4, if you remember, since then the stock has been an uptrend. Okay, so it is here the constraint is not about the valuation of 1.2 or 1.3 times. I believe that there could be much more upside left because, and even if you remember, I had been clearly saying that we don't mind buying stock a little expensive, but there should be more clarity on the the balance sheet side, and that has come. So I believe now possibly there is more upside left. We need to work out on it, but I believe one can go out and really start accumulating this stock.
Not bad for Bank of India's numbers as well. The absolute gross NPA has only gone up by 3.5% to 518 versus 500 crore. The absolute net NPA is only up by 1.1% to 282 crore versus 280, which means the asset quality has not deteriorated.
In line with SBI. SBI's gross NPA absolute basis is just up in single digits, and so is Bank of India.
Actually, Bank of India did start a lot of remedial measures last quarter as well. You could see the growth in CASA, you could see the winding down of bulk deposits, the winding down of the balance sheet itself. So a whole host host of curative measures were taken, not just in asset quality, but even in the overall balance sheet. And all that will definitely be helping the banking space. So this is excellent performance from Bank of India as well. That's coming in at just a 4% rise. So 3.4% rise and in State Bank, and 4% rise in Bank of India. Together, this means that a large part of the banking sector is coming out of its most troubled times, which is why you will get a shot in the arm for the market itself, a shot in the arm for the economy itself. After all, the banking sector mirrors the economy so much. So if the worst morass is over, then you are going to see, overall celebration. Economy stocks should do well, and that's why I was telling you, Nigel, you have to concentrate on the market as well. We have Anuj with us.
No, I just want to make a short point. I was just listening to all the points that you were making, and on the PSU banks. The other point is that for State Bank of India in particular, you got to look at the shareholding pattern. 62% of the shareholding is with the government. That's not going anywhere. 11% of this is with LIC. That's not going anywhere. And you have HDFC Mutual Fund and Reliance Mutual Fund, also ICICI Mutual Fund, together holding 7 or 8%. And the big call that Prashant Jain had made on our show about 6 or 8 months back was that he's endured a period of big pain in PSU banks. Now he's not going to give any of his stock away. And that's why, there's a scarcity premium. The only stock available in the market for SBI is 8% floating stock. And if you look at the F&O side of the market, there's a 1 crore shares open interest build up in State Bank of India. Why is that happening? That is happening because you can't get enough stock in the cash market, so you got to go and buy in the F&O market. And that's almost similar trend playing out. So, when the cycle reverses in some of these PSU banking stocks, that's how it plays out. These stocks can surprise you on the way down, but when it reverses, they'll surprise you on the upside. And that's what's happening right now. Just pull out the F&O plate of State Bank of India. Look at the turnover, 4,000 crores right now. That's the future in the spot. But look at the open interest build up in State Bank of India. It's almost 1.2 crores at this point in time. That's almost, putting in 300 crores of commitment in the futures market. So that's the other point which is driving the market.
Oh, absolutely. The scarcity premium is clearly something which we should recognize, and the technical factor, therefore, that will push this stock up. I take all those points on the market, but for me, this is actually a celebration of the economy as well. Some very, very troubled things are over, which will mean that the space opens up for fresh investment. Until now, nobody had the courage to look at fresh investments because you had to whittle down or unwind or correct what had already gone wrong. Now that gone wrong period is definitely crunching, or the amount of money under crisis is definitely crunching. That's the positive. Actually, Prakash Diwan has joined us. Let's get an overall comment from Prakash as well. Prakash, two good numbers coming in terms of showing lower trouble. The State Bank of India slippages indicate a minor increase compared to what they did last year. Only 8,700 crore of fresh bad loans compared to 30,000 crores last quarter. As well, the overall GNPA is almost next to nothing, remaining flat, 3% higher. Likewise, a similar performance repeated for Bank of India as well. Your thoughts?
So, well, Lata, definitely, this seems to be the beginning of the end in terms of all the troubles.